Hello and welcome to this new video brought to you by Drift Protocol. Today we're gonna do a quick market review. We had definitely a rough weekend and we're gonna review that right now. So I'm on Drift, the mainnet. And so as you can see, you can trade Solana, BTC, Ethereum, Luna, AVAX, BNB, Matic, Atom, and Dots. These are the two recent pairs that came out. And then in terms of the interface, so you have your collateral right here, very typical, as like margin, engines, design, unrealized P&L, and so on. Recent trades on the assets, then your main like trading slash charting tool. This is like trading view. And then here you can place your orders, so you can change your market, select your market, and for now there is only market orders, but soon there will be limit orders. And your leverage slider, so you can go up to 5x leverage right here, and then the slippage tolerance, because Drift actually use a virtual AMM. Okay, so let's take a look at BTC first. Okay, the first thing we want to establish is the market structure. So clearly here we have low highs and low lows, and they're successive right here, low lows, low high, low lows, low high, and so on. And then we see a bit of, kind of a slowdown on this move with like lower high and lower lows getting closer to each other. And one other indications that, the trend was also slowing down is that we have a low here and a lower low there. And here on the RSI, we have a bull divergence with a low here and a higher low there. So it typically means exhaustion as opposed to absorption. And we also see that on the unbalanced volume, that the trend is being supported by less volume. So it doesn't necessarily mean a reversal, but we could be like ranging for a bit, or we could reverse as well, or we could resume the trend. But well, it's basically a pause right now. So on this market structure, so it's clearly bearish with a small shift here going on. We had this lower high here that got broken by this higher high, then we closed below again, and we're trying to kind of like reclaim it. And so that's what we can observe on the 4 hour. Typically these move are like over under, so you would have a low here, and then another low below, and then we break market structure and then come back to that level, and this is where you're long. So it remains to be seen whereas BTC is gonna do that or not. So let's take a look at the the 30 minutes to see if there's something we could trade. Okay, so on the 30 minutes, you pretty much has two things that I see is that these two lows right there, they're not exactly clean in a way that for a low to be good, what I like to see is excess. So like a long wick that cannot take out the other lows, and here it's a bit like it's a bit like a poor structure. So if you don't know what that means, you can check our latest video regarding trading education, and we talk about like poor structures and double lows and things like that. It's not exactly a double low, but it's close. So what I would like to see is like having these lows taken out, and then kind of reclaim the level, and then go back up. The second thing that we see is definitely this. So like this part, those moves are like they create illiquid areas, and you tend to see so like for example here, you tend to see the market reacting from them. So like here for example, or come back and fill them to distribute time and volume. So we haven't done that yet, and it remains to be seen whether we'll do that. But you should keep this in mind, that not just long here and YOLO and let's go, but there are potential threats below the current low. First, the structure is not great, and second, we had a big like illiquid move. So if we go back down and fill that, then I wouldn't be surprised. So right now it seems like we're going in the right direction. What I would like to see to be bullish is definitely on the 4 hour kind of a reclaim of this low here. Let me see that. Okay. So I have something like that happening. That would be nice, reclaim that part. Or even better, it would be something like a giant over under. So this is your first low broken, and we tap the the high of the range, reclaim that level, and then go back up. So this is actually a typical pattern, and we have it here potentially here as well, another over under. So you wanna try to see where the market's potentially going. It's not necessarily gonna go this way, but it's one option. In terms of like lower time frame trading, it's definitely not much here. Like it's been like kind of choppy. And what I would like to see is a break of that high, kind of reclaim it, and then if we go back down like this, I would consider a long here. Or we could also kind of break down and evaluate for shorts, especially with those like illiquid zones here. So not necessarily bullish right now, because I would need to see higher time frame structure reclaimed, and for like smaller trades, like if we break this and retest, then yeah, I would consider long. But so far nothing is like warranting a trigger for long or a short. And so I guess that's it for BTC. So let's move on to another crypto. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay. All right. So Ethereum, what we have. So clearly we have a bearish market structure, obviously, similar to BTC. And then the over-under here is a lot cleaner, I guess, than BTC. Actually, okay. So we have a low, we break that low, and then we reclaim it. We don't touch it. It was close, but this is why you should go on lower time frame to see what's going on. And so the range here is a lot cleaner than BTC. It's like easier to kind of define like your boundaries. We're in the middle of the range right now. So middle of the range means volume distribution, right? So if you have a volume profile, you have something like this. Whoops, sorry. Something like this going on, with that point being the area with the most volume traded, and then you will have your hedges here and there. And so entering in the middle of the range is a bad idea, because this is where it chops the most. So you're gonna get chopped out. So it's better to wait, either retest here and enter, which actually happens here, but very close, or wait here and short here, right? And so what happened here is actually a small like SFP on the 30 minutes. So on this over under on the 4 hour, your trigger should be on a smaller time frame, like the 30 minutes. And as you can see, this SFP should have been your trigger. So as soon as this closes, you can enter your trade, and then you target the range high, right? Or you can target middle range if you have smaller, you want to spend less time on the markets. But range high is definitely a good target as well. And then whether it flips remains to be seen. So something like this could definitely happen, but the trend is not bullish, clearly. So don't get your hopes up, and it's very likely you have to always assume that when you reach the range high, that we're gonna come back down and so on. Enough drawing for now. So yeah, so very clean over under. Then lower time frame, you got SFP here. That's where you enter. Either you enter at close, or you wait for the first pullback. So that mini pullback right here, you can go on even a lower time frame and kind of look what happened right on the 5 minutes. So that would be like your area of entry. Wait, yeah, right here. And then put your stop below the SFP level. But so for now, in the middle of the range, definitely do not trade there. You see it's very choppy. On the higher time frame, if you're looking for swings, let me clear this. Okay, so if we reclaim that, same, I would start to be a bit more interested into getting positioned significantly. And again, you will have a potential over-under. So either something like this. And on the bear side, so obviously this is quite key. It's this like over-under thing. If we break below there, like if we do a clean break, there's definitely an opportunity to short and either target this or, you know, target Goblin Town. But that's pretty much it for Ethereum. What else is there? Let's look at Atom. Atom is interesting because it has a completely different market structure than the other guys. Right. So Atom, you see a complete shift already happening. Okay. So you got successive, like, you got a high, you got a low, this high got broken, and you got a, it's printing right now a higher low. And we get a low and higher low already here. So, you know, the market structure on Atom is definitely a lot better than the rest of the crypto assets. It's like kind of like consolidating here. But let's say that you know, you see some move going on, like this could be a long entry and targeting the range high here. What else? Let's look at the 30 minutes. Okay, this is very a good consolidation. I mean, which is a good sign. There's no clear, you know, rejection for now. So, you know, actually I would expect this to consolidate a bit and you know, keep moving further, because again, the 4-hour market structure is bullish. So you should look for, in this case, for longs, not longs still like, you know, $80 for example, but, you know, target range highs. So this could be a good idea. We got some kind of mini SFP going on here. Yeah, definitely a good long opportunity right here. And define your risk, you know, below this or below this little level here. But yeah, Atom is definitely looking a lot better than the rest. Let's see. Definitely in a range. And you could see something, you know, like this happening. Let's take a look at the rest. So we saw BTC and Ethereum already in Atom. The Solana, the same pattern is on the same crypto. It's like this over-under is a bit shifted here, I guess. Like something more like that, like a head and shoulder. But I wouldn't venture into, you know, into trading stuff that don't necessarily have bullish market structure, because like the last high was here and this high didn't break it. If you see the other assets, like you want to see a break of market structure, then a pullback, and then consider longing. But here, like there's, you know, nothing that kind of warrants looking for longs. So I mean, you could try long here and target range high, and then, you know, place your stop around there or around there. But this is not a good looking chart. And then on the high time frame again, you know, let's look at, you know, when we reclaim this 130, and I know it's a long way from there, you know, I'd be looking to allocate, you know, potentially funds to Solana, a long-term hold or swings. Or so what I want to see as an intermediary step is to break this high cleanly, break the market structure. Maybe we'll go back inside the range, but then print a higher low. Right now you have a low, low. You want to establish a higher high, higher than this one, and then, you know, something like a break, then put a higher low than this one or this one, and then, you know, trend up. Regarding DOT, things are looking a lot better. Let's take a look. We have the same pattern right here, and so first low, we break, we reclaim, clean reclaim here, and then now we're targeting the range high. So on the 30 minutes, it's gonna give something like this. Hopefully we go in range high, and then what I would like to see is a clean break. If we get lucky, we get a retest and then go higher. But keep in mind the probability of the quite high probability of rejection. Drift just started listing DOT recently, so there's not necessarily the whole history, but look it up on another platform. But those moves are like quite fast, happen quite fast, and they're quite illiquid. So providing that there's no volume distribution in there, and if we reclaim that close above the range high, then there's a good chance that we kind of feel this area. The first target would be like around here, and then typically if we reach that level, there's either going to be rejection or just a very swift move to kind of fill that gap. But that's pretty much it on the on a higher time frame, what I would expect. But it's looking better than some of the other. So to conclude, I think like Atom is definitely the most bullish chart out of all of these. It has a cleaner market structure, bullish on the 4-hour, but keep in mind that Bitcoin tends to dictate the direction of the market as well. But when you get reactions, when there's a pause, stuff like Atom and Phantom these days are reacting like much harder than other crypto. And keep in mind, yeah, BTC always. So it's not looking too bad on BTC. We got a break of market structure, which is a good sign. And again, BTC dictates the market. Break of market structure. We got a higher low here, lower low, higher low, higher high, and so yeah, it's not looking bleak. But bear in mind that we're not in on the high time frame. We're not necessarily in a bullish environment. So if you decide to long, be very conservative about your targets and take profits. Don't get greedy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. This is Drift right here. Pretty easy to trade here, very clean interface. And if you have any question, reach out to us on Drift Protocol on Twitter. And that's it. Thank you and see you soon.